3, 2, 1. How we doing, Gabe?
Oh, fantastic.
That's good to hear.
I'm telling you, dude, you need to get intro. You gotta figure out something.
I think what an intro, like, we've been thinking on doing, like, the boys are back in town, like, just the main chorus. But as long as we don't go, like, over, like, 10 or 15 seconds, we can't get sued for, like, copyright violation.
Oh, hell yeah. I love loopholes like that. Exploit the shit out of that.
So what's been up? It's been a while since you've been on a podcast. I think the last one we did was...
a couple weeks. I was at the tag team with Kobe and... or is it just with Kobe? Or is it, it's Kobe and Joe, right?
Yeah, it was just Kobe and Joe. Joe was the tech.
I mean, so it's been a minute. A couple weeks.
Yeah. Solid.
Yeah, I don't know. As you know, like, I went on that really impromptu road trip with Lou.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
How was
Louie
that?
drove around the country. Oh, it was awesome.
Where'd you guys go?
Saw a bunch of shit. Went down, like, out of Minnesota, Iowa a little bit, drove into Nebraska. Louis was riding on a flat tire for a good like 10 minutes, and then, like, some lady, like, flagged us down, and she's, like, pointing at the tire, and I was just like, I looked at him and was like, dude, if we stop, like, we're gonna have to change the tire, and we stop. I already knew that. I could feel it. It was bad. It was shaking. But
He just kept driving.
yeah, I was just like, dude, just get to like a gas station, like, pull off. Otherwise, we're gonna change this on the side of the road. It's gonna be terrible, just on the highway. Try not to get hit by cars. Fucking going like 80 miles an hour now.
Did he have a spare?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
Just threw the donut on her, and we went to.
You guys kept driving around the states at the.
Oh,
donut?
I got to see the jewel of Nebraska, Omaha. No, I mean, it was kind of greasy, but I liked it. Something to see. I mean, I only been there once, so we didn't really, like, look around too hard, but it was like, I don't know, pretty blue collar place.
What even, like, what else is there in Nebraska?
A lot of corn. It's not much of windmills.
Because it's flat. I'm pretty sure Nebraska.
It's just like all farm, like, crap. You're not gonna see much. Don't expect much. I didn't, but
don't expect much.
Yeah, no, from there we just went down.
Wait, hold on. You guys, how did T-Lou not feel the flat tire? Or did he? And you guys just were, like, waiting?
I mean, like, I didn't really feel it until it got, like, to the point of no return. To where, like, you could tell all of a sudden. But I don't know. It wasn't, like, terrible, but... Yeah, when we got there, because, like, we didn't know if we were going to need to get a patch on it, or if we could get a patch, or we're just going to get a new tire, but...
if you guys rode on a tire for 10 minutes, that tire's completely shredded.
Oh, it had to have been at least 10
How
minutes.
fast are you guys going on a flat tire?
Like, you might have been going, like, 70 and 60, in between 60 and 70. I mean, you got to maintain pace, so I don't know. You made the alright call, but...
That's
yeah, I put a hole in the wall, so, like, yeah, it's just, like, new tire. And we're like, all right. But yeah, $35 and, like, maybe 50 minutes later, we're out of there.
That's not bad.
Not at all, no.
And where did that happen at?
We got the tire changed and put back on in Omaha. But it was probably, like, 25 minutes out from, like, Omaha, Nebraska, from where the hell we were. We just pulled off in, like, a little exit.
I bet.
Yeah.
Did you go through Council Bluffs?
Yeah, we did.
Went through where?
Council Bluffs.
Council Bluffs. What's
cool
that?
Place. I don't know.
Just
It's
the
like,
city that's neighboring Omaha across the river.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
fucking my geography is dog shit. I don't know anything about, like... You'd be like, yeah, we were in Kansas. And I'd be like, that's on the East Coast, right? Like...
we actually were in Kansas. And,
you guys went to Kansas City, Missouri, right?
oh, yeah. Well, we drove through, like, the entire state of Kansas, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was crazy. We went through...
Why'd you guys go so far? You were just going to Colorado, weren't you?
Well, that was, like, the initial plan. And then, like, Lou just kind of said, hey, let's go to Kansas City. And, you know, we did. I mean, it kind of made sense because, like, from where we were, it was going to be roughly, like, the same amount of time. So it was just like, we could either go back and just have to deal with Nebraska, or we could go through Kansas and, like, go to Kansas City.
Solid.
And, yeah, way better plan. I hate Nebraska. Except Omaha. I like Omaha, but...
I've never actually been to Nebraska.
Yeah, we went, like, south, out of Denver. Like, we actually went up to Boulder for a little bit.
How was it?
Went south. Oh, it was crazy. Louis liked the mountains. We got to drive through. Like, having a car was nicer because I remember, like, going to the same spot. It was, like, Boulder National Park with Ben and Evan, like, last year or something like that. And it was really lame because, like, the Uber driver just dropped us off on, like, the side of the road, not even at any the trail starts there, and I was just like, here you go, it's the mountain, bye. Thanks for your money. It's another 20 whatever to get back down.
That's rough.
Dumb, but yeah, no, it was cool. Got stung on the neck by a bee. It was really lame.
You told me that story.
Oh, I hate it. No,
You're like,
just ruined it. Just went right back in the car.
Yeah, you like got out of the car and then you're like, fuck
you, nature.
this.
Just I was trying to enjoy everything. Just kind of checking it out. It's like a cool little dam and a lake, and then just also fucking just hear that fucking buzz, feel something fly on my neck, and I just go like, oh god, just fucking smack at it. It was terrible.
Sure.
I hate bees.
Sure, it wasn't a hornet.
Probably was a hornet, because I was gonna say like fucking usually bee stings like kind of swell up, and I was a little worried about that. But yeah, it probably was a hornet, because like nothing bad happened. But
I mean, hornets don't typically sting you; they fucking bite you. So I think it's wasps that sting you, or I could have that backwards. I could be totally wrong about that.
I didn't know that one did something different than the others. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're just dickheads. They're just wasps.
Absolute
and hornets.
assholes. Just like,
oh yeah. I don't know why, like, what is it UWS? That's like the wasps? Or
Yellow
whatever?
Jackets.
The Yellow Jackets, yeah. And that's like another name
everything,
for, like,
yeah, especially in the Northland, I've everything you could have had for, like, your goddamn mascot. And let's be bees.
Let's be bees. Well, they're not
Perfect.
bees. They're
Well,
fucking,
okay, they're hornets. Be hornets.
that's bees.
That's a bee.
Inbound brewery.
I actually really love this table. So I was going to ask you, like, if I go into Cold One and ask them for a bunch of liquor stickers, like, they will sell them or just give them to me.
They don't, so that's the thing. Like, I think I've gotten 4 stickers. So I got the topside sticker, the Ursa Minor sticker, and the 2 Inbound Brewing stickers from Cold One. And for those who are listening and those who obviously can't see, I'm covering the whole table in stickers, and this is gonna be my podcast table.
It's actually awesome. It's like the greatest collection of stickers ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would love it for people to just like send me fucking stickers, and I've been buying stickers online. Like I bought the Danny DeVito sticker and the My Pillow guy sticker,
that's a good one.
the THC instead of KFC sticker.
Yeah. I like the Elon Musk one, smoking weed.
Oh yeah, I had to buy the Elon Musk one, smoking pot. That was a perfect sticker for this table.
That was another thing about beautiful Colorado. Just getting really high.
The weed.
Just getting really high in Colorado. It's legal, so
yeah.
No shame in it.
How was it?
Sue me. Oh, it was great.
You guys just blitz 24/7.
Well, I mean, just like got a little bit smoking J's and driving around.
Hell yeah.
Saw a bunch of fucked shit.
Hey, that's driving under the influence. That's illegal.
Well, you know what? When like you look over,
you weren't doing that.
We weren't like the only. You know, maybe we were, but you know, screw it.
No, you just weren't. You just weren't doing that.
I wasn't driving.
Fair enough.
Yeah, actually, no. It was all. Yeah, we're good.
Did you guys just beeline straight from Colorado back to Minnesota then, or what?
No, we went, we just kept going south, and, Colorado Springs, Garden of the Gods.
Garden of the Gods? Where'd you go after that? Or was Colorado,
Pretty
like,
dope.
your initial final stop?
That was, like, my whole, like, idea or, like, grasp of this road trip was just that it was gonna, like, end and we're gonna go back from Colorado. But,
From Cam 1 to Cam 2, you can use the arrows, yeah. Just like that. I figured that out the other day.
like
It's really snazzy.
yeah.
No, that's solid, though, dude. That's awesome. So how was it traveling with, like, this whole pandemic thing going on still? Or were, like, the states that you went to, like, finally reopened and stuff? Because I know Minnesota's, like, one of the last on the list.
Yeah, we're holding out pretty damn hard.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin just had super bad withdrawals and said we're doing it now.
Bar withdrawals. I bet that's what that was.
No, just alcohol. Yeah, well, yeah, kind of, but just alcohol withdrawals.
Well, not alcohol withdrawals.
Just kidding.
They've been drinking this whole goddamn quarantine. They were just like, I need to go to the bar and grind on some underage chick and.
I like the white girls like lost their personalities for, like months on end. So.
I bet everyone saved a bunch of money in makeup.
Oh God, and just money.
Makeup industry's probably.
Anytime I would go out with like any of our friends, it's just I'd spend. That's when I also had like a decent job, so I could. But I'd spend like close to $100 like every time I'd go out.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's
ridiculous. Probably saved a ton of money not going to the bars, but goddamn, do I miss it?
That's just a given. I mean, if you spend $50, you're balling on a budget.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Like, you go out to the bar, if you plan on getting drunk at the bars, that's easily $50, and that's like the minimum requirement someone would need to get hammered. unless you're like 4'9" and 110 pounds soaking wet. And
Me and
you
Max
just
actually spent hundreds over like 3 nights at Dirty Bourbon in New Orleans. So yeah.
Yeah, how was that? I wanted to go on that trip so bad.
So yeah, you should have. It kind of sucked because like I know I asked you about it. It didn't. It was something about your finals that kind of like interfered with what your like availability.
Our spring break. So like the day you guys left.
We're gonna leave was like the start of your finals or like one of your last ones or something.
Well, you went the weekend before, right? You went like the first weekend of spring break for both you guys, right?
Yeah, because our spring breaks were the same.
And that was a week before mine. So like that whole week, I was doing final shit.
Yeah.
Or not final shit, but midterm shit.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Fuck midterms.
Bunch of midterm tests. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet. The best. Mr. Engineer.
Mr. Engineer. Yeah, it's a blast, man. Let me tell you. Engineering is a pain in the fucking ass. Like, you have to...
I feel like the concept's cool, but I couldn't... I don't know. I'm not that smart.
It's not necessarily about being smart. It's, like, more or less like a work ethic. Like, if you don't understand something... If I don't understand something, I typically, like, spend as much time as I need to actually... to understand it. The fuck?
Smartwatch.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve Jobs.
That's fucking Samsung, buddy. Steve Jobs had nothing to do with that.
Whoever the hell owns Samsung.
It's a Japanese company. But
I knew that. At least
yeah, what'd you guys I mean, I imagine you guys were pretty intoxicated your entire time down in New Orleans, but
it was Bourbon Street. I mean,
of course.
Oh god, like the daiquiris. I guess if I could sum up the drunk, it'd probably be daiquiris. No, I don't know. It was good. It was like a really good time. They had like, I thought it was gonna be like a little touristy and lame, and I guess in some ways it kind of was because they really try to trap you with expensive drinks and hot ladies.
Hot ladies with no shirts on and no bras and
just want you to take like really expensive like beaker shots. I got suckered into it one time. I was really drunk, but yeah, just like these waitresses, like just walk around with like beakers, and it's just like you do these shots and. I'm not going to get I don't know who listens to this, so I'm not like the test tube beakers.
Was it, wait.
It's a really interesting way you take those.
Beakers are different. Like, beakers are the ones that, like...
Okay, not the ones, just like test tubes. There you go.
Oh, the
test tubes.
Like a test tube?
Like test tube shots, yeah.
Okay, I think I know what you're... Like a graduated cylinder or not like a graduated cylinder? No, I know what you're talking about.
Like just the one long
like
thing.
A
like
test, yeah.
It's not a graduate... Yeah, like that. Nothing like that.
It's a glass tube with a rounded bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a test tube. Yeah.
Basically.
Okay, so you got... How expensive were those? Just like...
Like 1 or 2 was like $20. Definitely not worth it. But like I said, there was an interesting way that there's a lot of great things that I'm probably not going to talk about just because I don't know who listens to this. But no, oh dude, it was great. Like it was awesome.
Did you do a lot of filthy things?
So fucking expensive. I mean, not a lot. Like I don't know. Like weed is like decriminalized there, so like they can have storefronts, and like we went to Brass Fest, super cool. Just had like
the fuck is Brass Fest?
They just had like a bunch of like different brass bands and like high school like brass whatever the hell's choirs. Ooh, hell yeah, pass it around. Shout out nicotine. Shout out big tobacco.
Big tobacco.
But yeah, I don't know. I just played music, different kinds of like just think a band basically, but instead of concert band, it's all like jazz.
All like jazz. Why don't you just play the right notes? No, I love jazz, dude.
No, it's it was a good time. Yeah, they just had like this storefront. Thank you, Joe. Had this storefront set up.
Like a marijuana storefront.
Yeah, they're selling like edibles and gummies, not like actual weed. It was just like just edibles and gummies, and like me and Max got some of those.
So are like edibles?
And like the weirdest thing is just like it wasn't like this was like kind of a shady thing. There were like state troopers or like sheriffs, I guess, whatever the hell, like deputies, whatever, just like standing there. One guy was like right goddamn next to like the little stand and stuff, and like Max was talking to him, and like it's like it's decriminalized, so like it's definitely not like the same quality or like they're not on par, and I think it's mostly for tax purposes or like something on that lines, but it's not like as good or like profitable as I think Colorado or states that are like legal, but it's decriminalized. So
We should definitely take a trip to Michigan because Michigan has like the lowest tax rate.
yeah, I mean, if we like, it's like 2 hours just to get into Ironwood, and like Hunter lives there, and like, I think we talked about this once already. Like it's like it's like two hours like to get into Michigan, and then like however the hell long. Probably want to say just screw Detroit. Like, well, we'll go see Detroit after Corona. But.
Well, fucking Ironwood is the UP to get to actual like Michigan.
All the way down.
Yeah, you'd have to go like all the way down across. Like you'd have to like diagonal
Michigan. I know it's like right on the border of like Wisconsin and whatever the hell, but
That's the UP.
The UP.
What is that?
The Upper Peninsula.
Oh, okay.
That's the part that's attached to Wisconsin, and because those fucking cowards won't take it from Michigan.
Yeah, I say that too.
They won't take it from Michigan, and it's just because they're cowards. But the Upper Peninsula is actually like really fucking cool. They get like due to like the lake effect from both lakes on either side, they get like fuckload of snow.
That. Disgusting.
They get a fuckload of snow and
I
like.
hate to live there.
Oh god, it's beautiful. The UP is so wonderful. But like to get to the actual Michigan, like like the peninsula itself.
Maybe we'll take a ferry
From
tomorrow.
the UP.
Like,
well, that
like
would.
Mackinac Island or the hell. That's in Michigan, isn't it? Maybe.
I don't think Mackinac Island or whatever it is.
Mackinac, I think.
Mackinac. I have
Maybe
no
it's
idea.
not.
Joe,
Maybe you're right. Nah, whatever.
look that shit up, Joe.
There you go, Joe. Some tech stuff for you to do.
So, like to get to ferry from the UP to like Michigan and to get like down to Detroit, I think it'd be way faster if you just like went down to Minneapolis and then like straight across Wisconsin. Probably way fucking faster.
Yeah, it might be.
Because I think it's just like
Michigan.
to get like across Michigan, like the
hell
UP and shit. Yeah, Mackinac. That's what it is.
Mackinac.
Well, there's a fucking C at the end. Don't call it Mackinac if there's a C at the end, you cocksuckers.
Well, you know, John Luco, I thought John Luke never really said the C, so that's why I said Mackinac. But
Unless is there a bridge going over Michigan to the UP? Is that what I'm seeing?
It'd be crazy.
Yeah, there is.
Wow.
Maybe it is faster to go across the UP. I'm not
Just
sure.
drive. Oh, hell, fuck.
Upper Peninsula. That's titties.
Is there anything else like in Detroit other than Detroit? Is there anything other in Michigan other than Detroit that's like worth seeing really?
Houghton's worth seeing for sure.
Houghton.
Houghton's like up
Never
at the
heard of
top.
that.
That's where university. It's UMT. So Michigan, or MTU. That's what it is. It's Michigan Technological University
Okay.
up in Houghton, and it's like kind of like imagine if like Duluth and Superior were both on hills. That's kind of how it is, because there's like a river that splits them both, and it's Houghton and another town that's just like equally shittier, or it's shitty, but you know, shittier than Houghton.
Okay.
So Houghton's like the Duluth side of things, and then like the other side of the river is like the Superior side of things. But they're both on like very sloped valley hills, and they
to be the superior side.
and they go down into like a river, and like in the winter that's like a giant like snow highway that people ride snowmobiles on and stuff.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of awesome.
It's super cool to see. I would suggest going to the Upper Peninsula, just seeing like that whole thing. Not during the summer. I feel like during the summer it's probably just like mundane and just almost exactly like the North Shore.
I hate the winter.
But like winter time going there would be really cool. Especially like snowboarding on the hill and stuff.
Somebody else is driving, yeah. I'd probably do that.
else is driving.
I don't want to drive in the winter.
You don't like driving in the winter?
Like the winter takes a lot of my cars, or at least damages my cars. I don't like it.
True. That's salt, dude. Especially dude, in North Dakota. Did I ever tell you this? Like they don't salt like their regular roads.
They don't.
They only salt the freeway.
So if you want to buy a car, if you buy a used car from North Dakota, it's good.
Yeah, used cars in North Dakota are typically good because they're not like super rusty on the underside.
Yeah.
But like driving conditions are still like dog shit. Absolute dog shit.
Probably terrible. Yeah, they don't salt anything.
Oh yeah, they don't salt like any fucking ice on their like main roads or anything like that. It's only the freeways that get salted.
Are they just trying to keep people out of that state, or is that their goal?
It feels like it. Because if you're driving and like you have like all season tires, if you don't have winter tires, you're like almost fucked. You hit like any patch of ice, dude, and there's like nothing stopping you on that patch of ice. There really isn't. Like I've hit when I was in Fargo, I would drive all the time, and like driving just to the wellness center from my apartment was maybe half a mile, not even. And I would just take one road and one turn, and I'd be there. And
There you go.
fucking, there was a time where I hit like 4 ice patches on my way, and then when I went to turn, that entire intersection was covered in ice. So when I went to turn, if there was a car sitting like, so I was turning right off of a one-way road, so I was on the right side of the road turning right. If there was a car on that road that I was turning onto that was sitting at the stoplight, if there was a car there, I would have hit them.
Jeez.
Because I just slid like right through that intersection, no turning possible, like nothing. And they don't salt anything. They just fucking let it be. And they're
It's
like,
like
oh, struggle.
So terrifying. Just like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You shouldn't slide through shit like that. That's why I hate the winter. I don't like being you. It's treacherous. Duluth's fucking dangerous, dude. Like, Cloquet is like okay, but like the back roads are usually just like dog shit. But like, yeah, Duluth's dangerous. I don't like driving Duluth in the winter.
Well, Duluth's on a hill, dude. And it's a steep fucking hill.
And like, there's like so many potholes, and it's just terrible.
Well, there's potholes, and it's like if you hit any ice patch going down a hill, you're
And everybody
going
is
down
just
that
like
hill.
the worst driver ever because there's so many people from Wisconsin here.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people from Wisconsin do come here. I feel like Minnesota drivers are worse than Wisconsin drivers.
I mean, some Minnesota drivers are alright, but it's only about Duluth. Like, Duluth drivers are just, like, aggravated. They're always on, like, yeah.
Do you mean they're aggressive?
There you go.
Well, it's because they
Just
have to
drive
be.
aggressive. No, they don't. Like, there's, like, it's no need. It's like, it's a
No, they don't.
It's a 55. You don't need to be, like, in a pissing contest going, like, 75 just because we have, like, nice cars. Just, like, leave me alone.
In a pissing contest?
That's what.
Well,
That's all it is, dude.
That's because you drive a red fucking 4-wheel drive Audi. And when
Well,
people see that,
Maybe
and
it's just the red car. I mean,
and
it's
they-
not even like that crazy of an Audi, but
they also have a small dick, they're like, well, we need to race.
something to prove.
I got something to prove with my car and all my parents' money invested in this car.
I gotta take care of my car. I paid for that myself, and
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like the only one that's fixing that shit.
I'm talking about people trying to race you, boy.
Boy.
Yeah, no, it's honestly like driving anywhere. I found this out. Like driving anywhere, even in like Europe, is fucked. Like
What gross.
Europe's super fucked. I
They
talked
go,
a lot
like,
about
crazy fast in Europe, though.
Yeah, they
It's
do.
nuts.
And the roads are tiny. I talked a lot about this in the last podcast, so I'm just going to cover it. But or in the last
You mean
episode, I
tiny
should say.
roads, yeah.
Yeah, the roads are like just wide enough for your car, and that's like a small car. Like you could not get like Joe's fucking Buick. You could not get Joe's fucking Buick like anywhere in Europe. I guarantee you, unless you were in like Italy or something. They have a lot bigger roads due to like their like their racing history and shit like that. And they do a lot of like road racing in Italy, like professional shit.
Oh, okay.
But
Kind of cool.
yeah, it is. It's really cool. But one of the worst things about like Denmark was that like everyone drove like a stick shift fucking 3 to 4 cylinder car, and like those were just big enough. Just like the roads were just big enough for those. Like I saw a truck when I was there. It was a police truck, and I was like, "What the fuck? How does this thing get around?"
Yeah, how do you like do your job?
Oh god, that police truck was like a monster truck compared to those fucking little Peugeots.
Yeah.
That was a car we saw a lot in Europe.
I don't want to be a cop in Europe, dude. It was like Eastern Europeans are feisty. I guess just most Europeans in general are just feisty.
Yeah, kind
I
of.
just had this fight page on Instagram, and I was just like, I just was going through the videos, and like there are surprisingly like amount of like a lot that are just like European dudes just like sucking cops in the face.
I feel like that's Eastern.
Probably.
I don't think people are doing
Probably not all of Europe, but there are parts of Europe where it's just like you don't fuck with those people. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you go to Russia, you go to like any of those like old Soviet
It'd be
countries.
super interesting, but I don't know how like. Well, okay, like, obviously, like, I feel like the government would like be on you, and like you'd partially be able to tell, but I guess I don't know how the people would respond to like tour. Like obviously, there's no travel advisory there, but
Yeah.
I just feel like the likelihood of something bad to happen to you traveling abroad is just like that much up because like we're all sketchy with Russia. We've always been sketchy with Russia.
What do you mean? Like traveling right now, or just traveling there in general?
I just feel like going places where we've had like crazy, not good histories with countries is just like, it's not dangerous, but you're not very safe. I don't know. I guess it doesn't seem very safe to me. Like Russia would be cool. Seeing Red Square would be badass. Go fucking check out Vladimir, whatever the hell, or was it Lenin? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lenin's body.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit would be cool.
That would
like see all the bears on unicycles, but no, I don't know. It's just like I don't know enough about the people, how they feel about just like normal Americans. That I don't know. I just feel like propaganda too. It's just like that's why I don't. China would also be cool, but I just don't feel like.
Well, just go to the
like
touristy.
Willingness to like I don't know. Yeah,
Just go to the touristy
like
places.
to go places where like you can explore and like feel like you can get helped.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to like. If you go to the touristy places, like places where people travel all the time.
That's probably fine. But yeah, you go like rural, like deep, like weird, like miles and miles and miles between cities, like small town. Like that might be sketchy and dangerous. But yeah, probably big touristy places are all right.
But even then, like I feel like you're only.
I mean, I
really...
could go like most places in Europe. Like I'm not really shook, but yeah, it's just like Russia and China. I don't.
I feel like that's
and
only
a lot of
if
South
you're...
America. South America is just all like freaking jungles and cartels. And
well, even there you can
gangs.
Even there, dude,
police.
people are traveling all the time, and you just got to travel to like you got to know where you're traveling.
That's what, I guess it's just like the biggest, like most modern cities, like all the big cities in like South America are okay. But
well, even in
just like a lot of little jungle villages with angry people.
Well, even in Mexico, where like
Not everywhere,
what is it like
some places.
human trafficking, like in Mexico. Human trafficking is
I
like
guess
a huge issue
yeah,
in Mexico and
in Europe too.
Like the one big thing they say, if you go there on like a cruise ship, if you go on like a cruise ship in Mexico, or if you go on like an airplane in Mexico, and like you go to a resort, they tell you like not to leave the resort.
Don't go anywhere else.
That's like a big point, and like don't buy drugs from people because they'll like follow you after you buy the drugs and shit. Like it's pretty sketchy, but you can be safe.
I don't want to buy drugs in Mexico unless like I have like family, which I don't. But
you had like what do you like? You had your family buy the drugs for you, and then you
like
buy them from them?
like a local, I guess, like somebody that's not like
then
somebody that you kind of know.
Then you'd
like,
probably be fine.
Yeah, no, like I just like target tourists and crap like that, and like resorts. It's like just outside. It's like I want to go to Cozumel, but it's just like you go to resorts like that and places. Just like you can't really do anything else.
Well, that's people are most afraid of like getting kidnapped in like those places, and like a majority of the time they're just trying to take your money. They don't give a fuck. Yeah. They don't give a fuck about you. They're just trying to take like the money that you have.
Pretty much.
Because that's like the easiest. As long as they get your money,
American
like
dollar, baby.
As long as they get your money, they're not going to be tracked down by their own police. Like,
probably not.
We got scammed in fucking Prague. When we were in Prague, we went to a restaurant, and this guy almost tried to triple charge everybody that was there because he didn't speak very good English. And like,
what?
Yeah, he tried to like. I remember looking at the bill and just like making connections, and like he charged me for like 4 like beers when I only had one. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Because our bill came out to like $400 for like 8 people to eat. And we were like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And like if we didn't argue with the dude, he would have just like taken our money, and like what could we have done? Called the police? Like I don't know. They'd have been like, yeah, those on your fucking receipt, you dipshits. I don't know. Like
yeah,
it just
like at least you looked at it, shit.
But I wanna get back on topic here a little bit.
Which topic was that?
How was it traveling with like this whole coronavirus thing?
Oh yeah, shit. That was interesting. I mean, I guess we were kind of nervous about like staying places, and like originally Louis even wanted to camp. I felt bad because he wasted some money on like camping stuff. He said he's gonna use them and he'll go back, and I'm sure he will. But yeah, it was just like money he didn't need to spend. He spent a lot, but
he spent a lot on camping stuff.
Well, just like at Walmart, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like you guys were planning on camping.
Yeah, we were gonna stay on there way longer, but I forgot Eli had like this graduation thing on that. That was just Friday.
Oh.
But yeah.
I know a lot of people did. My sister fucking did that for my nephew when he graduated from Head Start, which is like pre-K. It's weird. Like Head Start is like a pre-kindergarten thing.
Okay.
But she even had a graduation for him, and like my whole like I wasn't there, but my whole family was, and I was like, why?
But yeah,
like all he had to do was not like fight other kids, and like that's the only reason he graduated was because like he wasn't like a little shithead kid. It's weird.
I just didn't want him anymore. And just like behave and you're out of here.
So what about like I know like a lot of places have signs like enforcing social distancing laws and stuff like that? And, like,
Yeah,
rules?
and it was kind of weird. I guess I'd say like the farther, I guess it was kind of west. I don't know. Yeah, like I guess in Omaha, like everybody like in that auto place like was wearing masks. Like all people that were working at like gas stations did, and like even though it like doesn't help like with anything for anyone because the cashier is touching all your stuff while he's checking you out, and you literally hand things. It's just like all the plexiglass is up, all the protection, whatever the hell protection. But yeah, I don't know. People are trying. Like some of the hotels like do cleaning. One didn't, but they just like asked that guests were fine. But I mean, we mostly tried to stay in like reputable places that like we stayed in a Radisson one night. That was okay.
A Radisson?
A Radisson.
Those are like relatively nice hotels.
In Aurora, Colorado. You know, it wasn't as nice as you'd think a Radisson would be, but for what it was all right. I can't even remember. You know, we stayed like at a Days Inn in Lamar, Colorado.
Yeah. Where's that? Where's Lamar?
Dude, it's just like southeast.
What is it close to?
I guess
What's,
like
the
encompass like yeah. I guess I'll tell you more of the trip to like fill you in. But I guess like what I would say is and like Amy called, you know, Amy all worried and stuff.
She calls Teely like 3 times a day.
Oh, like it was probably like 5. No, she's a sweetheart. She's nice.
Oh, I know. Shout out
but
Amy.
yeah, shout out Amy Lula, Tristan's mom.
Shout out Amy's photography.
Shout out, yeah, Amy Lou Photography. Look her up.
She did my grads.
Did my grads too. Great work.
She did a lot of grads.
Wonderful
She did fantastic grad pictures for me. Like, I was gross looking in high school. I still kind of am, but like back then I looked pretty I was chunky and like I didn't have like a jawline, and dude, she made it look like I had the nicest jawline ever. So
well, there you go.
A lot of post-ops with my
Amy
pics.
Amy Lula Photography. But yeah, no, we just wanted to like avoid bigger cities, I guess, and that was the only thing I was afraid of, like staying places. Is staying in bigger cities had a risk. Like Lamar, Colorado was like very, very south and super east. It was probably like 2-3 miles away from like the border to Kansas. So like it's over there. But
yeah. It's over there.
But yeah, it's like a small town, kind of similar to Cloquet, and like that's the thing. Like around here, like it's not super scary, and like it's small towns, not super scary. Random gas stations, whatever. It's just like big places you want to avoid. Mm-hmm. And I guess like when we were looking, we were really like only out walking around, other than in Kansas City, in like hiking kind of areas. Most of the time we would just like stay in the car and like just like drive around, look at the scenery, kind of see like historical or like just points of interest, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, the only time like we were really out of the car for like good extended periods of time was like hiking really. Or like like in between like driving to like or like in just being in like a hotel room. But yeah, even that we didn't like really go out anywhere, even just kind of stayed in the room and chilled.
That's relatively safe. Like I know a lot of people when they travel by car, they like to get like hammered at a bar nearby, and then. Like,
oh yeah, so we didn't even want to really go out anywhere. Like at least I didn't. I wanted to try to be as safe as we could, and like we bought like hand sanitizer, and we were wearing masks.
Yeah, I saw in your story you were wearing masks like everywhere.
Yeah, so like, we tried. We definitely tried to be like safe, and I feel like we came back like. All right, yeah, we weren't really going out into like super packed, crowded public areas, but yeah, we did walk around a park in Kansas City, but for the most part, yeah, it was just a lot of like driving and like looking at stuff from the cars or like ordering food and smashing food in the car. What would be your opinion on like traveling to like somewhere where the laws are no longer like in place, like bars are open, big public gatherings are a big thing now? Like, what would be Would you consider that? Would you consider going to some like a big public event somewhere where that shit is open, or would you consider like still staying safe? As much as I'd love to go to a concert, because I had like so many, and like there's like I'd been very sad on the days when my favorite rappers were gonna be in Minneapolis or whatever. But like, as much as I'd love to go to a concert, and as much as I'd love to go to like Builders or the Flame and Superior, like when they open, 'cause, like those are fun. I have fun there.
Yeah, I do.
No, I would not, and I don't really want to go anywhere like in Wisconsin right now while it's open, or at least around. I just want to like sit back, see how it goes, and I don't even think around here like Superior, the area, I don't think it's gonna get bad or like crazy bad as people think it will. But you can definitely go out and like live your life, but it's not over. And as much as like I feel like the fact that we were able to do that when like I would say like the news, the media, it's just like all red flags. It's just like we basically just like burned down and chilled. We like it's the equivalent of like killing a bunch of people or so. I don't know. We just terrible.
So you think like the media would castrate you if like you were some sort of
I just think like the
official?
media like overhypes like what's happening. I don't know.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
To a point where it's just like people that are going out and living their daily lives or I don't know, it's all reactionary and it's not it's just like it's a bigger divide. It creates a bigger divide.
Yeah.
I think.
I do agree.
And I don't know, like it's definitely a real issue. It's like don't get me wrong, like people are dying. It's a real thing, but
well, what about
I think like like how infectious it is and like your odds of getting it I think are like overhyped. I guess that's what I would say. It was like your risk of getting this, even though you go out, you travel, whatever the hell. It's just like, don't be an idiot. Don't be like fingering stuff, you know.
Fingering stuff.
Going around, whatever.
Touching gum on the underside railing.
Be mindful. Wash your hands, you know. Wear a face mask in public. It actually does slow the curve or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
but
it
also,
does.
it's just like, do your research. It's just like, I would look up like the corona, whatever the hell infections like in certain places that we were gonna stay in or be in for a minute, and you know it's like it's not as big compared to the population for some or like for some cities than you'd think, and especially like out in that kind of area, it's just like you start seeing fewer and fewer cases.
In
surprisingly,
like Midwest.
Yeah, kind of, and like the
States,
rural kind of like places. Obviously, like the bigger cities, yeah.
Yeah.
But like Boulder wasn't too bad. Denver was all right, and even Amy made it sound scarier than it actually was. When I looked up the numbers, it was just like I was expecting something bad, but now it's just a couple hundred. I think.
I remember I saw an article somewhere saying that like.
One of those?
Yeah, absolutely. I can get you a Vizzy.
Was
that ice not sitting well with your tummy or what?
Oh, I love the ice, but I just can't slam them very, very fast.
Ick.
Then they don't sit well.
Yeah, I'll get you a Vizzy in a minute. I just want to finish this thought. So, like, I've seen reports somewhere that, like, CNN and, like, big news stations have actually been, like, things that have been keeping track of, like, the amount of coronavirus deaths have actually been lumping in people who have died from other situations, like other incidents, like car accidents or suicides or murder or whatever it might be. They're actually linking those deaths in with coronavirus deaths. Like in the numbers game, in the statistics, they're saying like this many people have died in this time period and they're like, all linked to corona.
And I've heard that that's kind of been like... I don't really know exactly a ton about this, but I've heard like about people talking about that. It's just like they're just like lumping in almost anything. Just like thank you, buddy. But they're just really stretching, and like I think New York was like one of the areas, just like all these New York deaths, and like when it was getting like crazy, scary, just like thousands die or like hundreds dying in a day or whatever. It's just like they're lumping in like things they shouldn't. And I guess I never really looked into it super hard, but that might be an issue too, yeah.
It's funny that you bring up New York because I know, like, in Queens, like right outside,
Bronx.
yeah, like right outside of New York City, they actually there was like 150 deaths in one day in Queens, and like 50 of them weren't coronavirus deaths, but they still lumped them into the amount of deaths that had happened or the coronavirus death statistics. Which is like, honestly, I think that's untruthful. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen, we're going to kind of switch gears here because this is kind of like a broad topic, but I've definitely seen like media news sources like caught openly lying, essentially, or like having false information, like with the N95 masks that Elon Musk donated to hospitals around LA County and like the LA City and stuff like that. CNN actually reported that they never received those masks, and he like commented and responded with like all the masks. He showed the receipts and everything. Like he proved to them that they were fucking wrong.
Yeah, fake news.
And nothing happened.
Well, it's like, and yeah, it's such a broad subject because now we're just branching into Elon Musk. But did you hear about him like just waging war with like the whatever county commissioner or whoever the hell's in charge of like the county in like California that has his like Tesla factory up? Did you hear about any of that like beef? Like
no,
Elon wants to open.
Yeah.
And this lady she's saying no, she's refusing, and like Elon's just saying like he just kind of went through it, that he just kept going, and then like they just keep butting heads, going back and forth. They're like fucking around on Twitter, and then Elon Musk says he's just pulling it, like the whole factory, like all his jobs, like all that whatever the hell, just pulling it.
Just pulling it. What do you mean?
Like he's gonna move his Tesla factory out of California into another state, probably.
No shit.
Yeah, like just because, and they're citing COVID-19, like, safety concerns or whatever. They're just trying to paint him as, like, some evil, shitty capitalist who doesn't, like, care about, like, the health and safety of his, like, workers. But Tesla, China is,
China.
China. It's a question you should ask China. No,
every
Tesla,
time we say
Tesla, China's been...
We gotta fucking do the finger things that
I
Trump
love
does.
Donald Trump.
You gotta do the China.
Just for his voice, and just the things he says.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Oh, he's great.
So
he's
funny.
But
if he wasn't like so wealthy and like such a businessman, he'd be a comedian straight up.
He's
straight up.
Funny. But yeah, no, Tesla China has been open since like goddamn like March. Mm-hmm. And like
was
obviously
that their
like,
gigafactory or something like that?
Yeah, it's like the giant ass like factory that they're pumping cars out for China, and they open that up like. Almost like there's like no like new cases, new infections, like everyone's staying safe, and obviously they're gonna have like the same standards. But it's not even the fact that overseas Tesla's opened up. It's you looked at every single other auto manufacturer, which probably have more because like Tesla like factories like that's automated, right? Like robots and shit. You just need people to, like program. I mean, it's not, like not all of it, but there's some of it. Like I know he has assembly lines where
that's
they
like
have
every auto manufacturer
basically. Now. But yeah, but I guess like what I'm trying to say is like every other auto manufacturer, like Ford, fucking Chevy, whatever the hell, all of them were basically all reopened, and it was just like her telling Elon he couldn't.
So like I don't think there's any like auto manufacturers in the state of California besides Tesla, right?
I'm not sure.
Like there's service stations for sure. There's like probably a Ford,
and you know
Dodge,
California
Chrysler.
plays by its own rules, and you know what? Joe, look that up. See if there are any see what auto manufacturers have plants in California. Because that's actually interesting. Because that would change what I saw, I guess. Because then California is its own animal. They like to play by their own damn rules because they're so fucking liberal. But yeah, nothing wrong with that. I like California, but nothing wrong with being liberal either. But they just like literally play by their own rules because they're so goddamn big.
That's true. But, I mean, the point I was trying to cover wasn't like necessarily the Elon Musk point. The point I was trying to cover was like the media blatantly lying. You know what I mean? Like when they don't have like peer-reviewed articles or they don't have like completely fact-checked sources and they just throw shit out there for clickbait. Like, why isn't that castrated amongst like the?
And I think the media kind of does something. I think they do try to like instill fear, but like subtle fear.
Well, I mean, like
that's what I was saying. Like,
why don't we hold
they
them
make it seem
accountable?
worse, but like it's kind of for a greater good. Like I think the reason why they kind of overhype this is just because we don't have a cure. Mm-hmm. It could get really bad. It could get worse even, and like we all just want to like live like normal goddamn lives, but everyone's getting sick and tired of it.
So like,
what are you finding, Bacchus?
Is Tesla the only car manufacturer plant in California?
They're not the only car company in California, nor are they the only one that plans to build cars in California in the near future.
Huh. So it says, according to Karma, okay, however, Tesla is the only car manufacturing plant that's currently producing cars in California if you consider only production vehicles for sale. So that makes sense. I mean, I understand, like, you would have a big factory and you would want to, like, especially for, like, floor workers and stuff.
Get back to business if, like, your competitors are. I mean, I guess that's just my biggest thing. It's just, like, they've already proven that they can do this and, like, do it safely. I just don't understand, like... And there's more politics in it too. Like
100%.
there's definitely like some like I don't know. They're probably
Especially
like,
since
trying to
like,
negotiate fucking like taxes or whatever the hell it is for it. Like whatever the fuck.
especially since like California's completely locked down altogether. Like they did the 2-week lockdown and then
Tesla dropped it, huh?
extended to another month. How bad Tesla news? How bad are things at California factory? One worker calls company
International
cultish.
Business Times. Oh yeah.
International Business Times. So take this with a grain of salt. But the point I was trying to make was like, the point I was trying to make was like media not being held to a like factual standard.
Well, if there's one person that is trying to hold the media to that standard, it is our 45th. It is our man in office. Fake news.
At the same time, because there's a lot of things.
Oh, like
said,
definitely
too.
making it worse. But if you've seen like the growing like distrust and like hatred of like journalists, like fucking CNN, whatever the hell, like
Yeah. Oh, CNN's ridiculous.
like he's got this fucking thing going, and like you said, like people like he's overhyped, like it's reactionary.
Mm-hmm.
He's going for like incendiary. He wants to blow the whole goddamn roof off the thing, but like normal people like us, like you, who notice that too, want like them to be accountable, and like yeah, so people are mad. Like this is happening. They're trying.
There's fake stuff being put on the news all the time, and it's
there's
for
just
clickbait.
Bad journalism. Yeah.
Is that mainly? Do you think that is like directly related to the fact that like journalism has to have some sort of income? Do you think that's directly related to the fact that like journalism is now online?
Well, they just need it. Doesn't I don't necessarily how long you have to be on a site for it to be profitable, but yeah, the fact that you click on one thing and get to view all their like advertisements that fulfills their like contract agreements with like the people paying them to advertise.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is just clicks. And
but there's clickbaity articles, like articles people try to like cite in specific arguments, or even politicians.
Oh, that are just like completely wrong and infactual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like that. What was it? I think it was it Nancy Pelosi when that article came out about Elon Musk and the fact that like he hadn't donated any of his N95 masks. She actually quoted that on Twitter and said like, this is an outrage. The fact that he would just completely lie to us. He's only in it for the profits, and he's only in it for the public. Like, you know.
Oh, you gotta love that shit, dude.
The insight to the public, and it's like she was also wrongly informed as well. Like that's a big fucking yikes. Like, she was wrongly informed as well.
And it's crazy because like people in power like that, people who can start that chain that like going viral, like trending shit like that, it's just like misinformation like that. It's crazy, and like not only is it like it's harmful and it's toxic.
Yeah.
It's just like think about like remember when all those kids from like that whatever the hell Kentucky, Tennessee, like Catholic like high school, whatever the hell, were at Washington D.C. And they were wearing like manga hats, and like everybody started blowing up on them because they thought they were just like harassing that like native guy or whatever.
Oh, the guy who was doing the drum circle.
Yeah,
and
but
they were
like
standing around him.
Yeah, and then like this fucking
Yeah.
media shitstorm blows up, and then I think like 2 or so days later, like the full video comes out, and they're like being harassed by those black Israelites, and then it shows like that native dude walking up to them and trying to walk through them. So
Yeah.
like. Well, it was really, like, standoffy, like, confrontational. Like, all those death threats those kids got, like, all those people shitting on them on, like, the internet.
Some of those kids got suspended.
Yeah, it's just, like, it's crazy.
Some of those kids got suspended.
Like,
and, like
stuff online, like,
Yeah.
misinformation really can, like, destroy, disrupt, like, ruin people's lives.
Yeah, I watched the video, and I was like, they weren't doing anything disrespectful.
And, like, yeah, and it's just, like, it's crazy. You really gotta be, and there should be some, like, accountability. There should be like a standard because like yeah, it's inflammatory. It doesn't do any good for anybody. It just causes harm and chaos and separation and diversity.
And it's honestly ridiculous. It's like pitting two people against each other. That's essentially like what people did when they blew up about that happening. I think you know what it was? It was like a fucking honeypot for like every media source. Like they were like, "Oh my god, this is the perfect story. This is showing like Gen Zers and millennials are not only insensitive, but like they're completely picking a side, right? They're completely picking a side that like they have to go by. And I just think it's the most absurd thing completely. Like they were saying, oh yeah, all these kids are Republican, and they were harassing this Native American man who was trying to form, or he wasn't even doing a drum circle, he was just drumming himself outside of the Capitol.
Yeah, I don't know if I think he might have been part of like a march, but at the time, like he was just kind of on his own doing his own thing.
He was on his own. But like he never got harassed, and he even released a statement himself saying like, I wasn't harassed by those students. I don't know why this is being put out there.
Yeah.
So like there's nothing factual about that, but why was the media never held accountable? Like all CNN did after that article was released was just say like, oops.
And I think like, and maybe not necessarily so like the media, like a broad sense, like even the station, like they don't always put out like things like that, but I have seen, and even in that instance too, like what I was talking about, like someone shares something and it just says something like, oh, this is so awful, like shame on those boys, like we gotta find out who they are and trash out, like that kind of stuff. Like individual people I have seen like come back and just say, hey, you gotta make sure you have all the facts, you gotta like look and analyze, and like I think that's cool. Like certain individual people, and I guess there are good like journalists and like good people like in charge, whatever the hell people we look up to, but
I don't know. I don't even think personally like
it's like unless you want to attack like an individual or like try to like there's someone tell James Cameron to raise the goddamn bar, 'cause, like, it's super fucking low right now.
Gotta raise the bar.
Raise the James Cameron. Greatest pioneer. No, like
what episode is that? The episode with
Honey Boo Boo and
Fatty Doo Doo.
Yeah,
it's was it Randy Newman that's guarding the bar?
It was Randy.
Fatty Doo Doo.
Yeah, Randy Newman. Shout out Randy Newman.
Shout out James Cameron. Dog.
Shout out James Cameron. Please raise that bar.
That episode's fucking hilarious. But
I love South Park.
That is a good point. Like the bar has definitely been lowered for like pitting people against each other, because that's definitely how a lot of like news sources and especially like social media sites nowadays make a lot of their money. Is like outrage. Outrage culture. It's huge.
It's just like usually they'll have like both video clips, but they choose the one that's gonna be like the most, like the one that's gonna trend the fastest, or that's gonna like catch the most eyes, one that rubs people the wrong way the quickest.
Well, that's not even the thing. Like I've definitely,
but that's what I'm saying. The thing about accountability is like they know what they're doing, and
well, do they?
Most of the time, I think so.
I think individually, I don't know. I think individually they're doing the best that they can. So when it comes to like the individual person that's viewing
certain people,
that's viewing something on Twitter, like how many times have you seen Caitlin Bennett on Twitter? A lot, right?
Who?
The gun girl, the Kent State gun girl.
Yeah.
Like she's on Twitter, and like I've seen like a lot. That's her biggest platform. That's like what she's most known for.
Oh, I love Twitter.
But like
it's fucking chaos.
Her biggest thing,
Wild West mashup.
Her biggest thing is being on Twitter and like saying something that's very, very right wing, and I mean not necessarily like too right wing, but it's like very, very, very right wing. Like she's very right in that aspect. She's very conservative. I can't remember
what the hell do they call it. When they're doing this trolling episode on South Park, it's like whatever that one effect where it's just like you're trying to say something that just like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like
just like a reaction of comments. It's like someo's gonna react to that. It's gonna make other people react to that.
It's not about person. It's not about person A. It's about person B getting a reaction from person C, and that person C attacks person B, and then from there, persons D through F attack person C because they can't believe their comments.
But they're onto something though. Like they're not wrong.
No, it's 100% right. It's Trevor's axiom is what it's called.
Trevor's axiom. Oh God, yeah.
The fact that I remember that is fucking terrible.
That's beautiful. I love that.
I can't even remember my own dad's birthday, but I'll remember.
Right, like I felt a little bad. George's birthday's on Wednesday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tell George happy birthday. Actually, I'll tell him myself. I'll go see him.
I'll probably go see him at some point.
Actually, I'll be in Fargo from Tuesday till Wednesday, so I'll be gone. But
you're going back to Fargo?
Yeah, I'm going back to Fargo because one of my friends, she's having a birthday. She's having a birthday party, so I'm gonna go hang out with her and see her.
Nice.
Just hang out. Keep my friend group close in Fargo. I don't want to lose all my friends over a single summer. Since I worked so hard to make those friends. Since I was such a fresh young pawn and the state of or in the city of
First
Fargo.
intentions are super important because there's only like 200 people in Fargo.
Oh, fuck you. There's like 100,000 people.
I know.
Motherfucker. But, fuck, what were we? We were talking about the media, and we were on a topic. Fuck. Yeah, but like the reactionary culture. What I was going to say about the Kent State gun girl, the Caitlin Bennett girl, is that like if you go onto her comments, you see her post, and I'm like, yeah, that's a reasonable post about the Second Amendment. Like she has every right to carry in that area or wherever she's carrying. And then like I look under like all of her comments, and like everyone commenting on there has like at least 1,000 retweets and like 30,000 likes, and each comment will say like somebody kill this fucking person.
It's fucked, yeah.
That's really fucked up, especially for a social media website to like allow that kind of posting. But what I think,
Oh yeah, they don't censor shit. Twitter just
no, Twitter doesn't care. But I love Twitter for that fact.
Me too. It's
But
great.
like one of the biggest things is that like the algorithm that Twitter uses to actually like show you what content you might like based on the content that you viewed is because people are viewing this outrage shit. People are looking into this kind of content, right? Like something that makes them click on it. Oh my God, the Kent State gun girl did another thing. They're like, oh shit, I got to see what she did. They'll click on it. They'll see it. They'll be like, I completely disagree with this. And they completely disagree with it. It makes them outraged, and they tweet an outraged comment. They get a bunch of likes on it. And it's just repeat, rinse and repeat. Like that's all they just keep doing.
Just shows you all like the weird like groups and subgroups of people too. Like you see all his likes and retweets, just like especially when it's something just like really stupid or like even fuck, just like yeah, somebody kill this girl. It's just like why do you have so many people that agree with that point or think what you said isn't
completely wrong.
just so just stupid.
Like she's a
Thank
human
you, by the
being,
way.
right? Yeah, of course.
But-
oh
yeah,
but like
obviously.
the point I was trying to make is I think like social media websites are inadvertently splitting us apart. They're inadvertently making us pick sides because what Facebook does is like they check on your most recent views and searches on Facebook, and they're like, well, by those recent views and searches, you might enjoy this. And then you look at that comment and it's the same exact Republican hating shit that you enjoy. And when you're on Facebook constantly looking that stuff up, you're going to just hate. There's going to be no diversity in your research. It's just going to be an echo chamber of just hatred. And that's really all it is. I mean, and that's not really anyone's fault. It's just, Facebook's.
It is mostly just like an endless cycle of hatred because like no matter what somebody says, yeah, somebody's always going to be able to spin it in some way or take it the wrong way.
But what I'm saying is like it's not like Facebook's fault for doing that, right? That's their automated artificial intelligence algorithm, like saying this person
like how
stays.
they collect and store data, basically.
Well, it's just getting them views. That's all it's really doing. Like Facebook gets views by people going on Facebook and looking stuff up, right? And that's their whole goal is to get more people on Facebook. So if all you're doing is looking stuff up that like you don't agree with, like if let's say you're a liberal or a leftist or whatever you are, and you're looking up Republican shit just to make yourself mad, then Facebook's going to keep feeding you Republican shit to make you mad to keep you on Facebook. So inadvertently, I think social media websites are like splitting us up. And to fix something like that would be near impossible.
I think so. Well,
like there's really no fix to something like that, is there?
oh, that's a hard question.
That is a hard question, right?
I don't know. I guess I wouldn't. My sort of like stance on like most of social media is like it's like the worst like goddamn like popularity. Like it's a contest. Like not even popular. It's just like a contest.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying. It's like I guess I don't know too much about like the algorithm because like I see stuff on Facebook that like pisses me off. I guess I don't search for like a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
But I see that like Facebook like sees like what I'm viewing and like even from like other apps and like crap and I'll just like give me ads and like target like stuff like that for me. I'd acknowledge that algorithm, and I just don't have like a lot of knowledge on like what you were talking about. I guess like how it would show you like more stuff to like
But
just enrage you.
That's what the algorithm is. If you looked up, let's say you go on YouTube, Ari Shaffir actually did a test about this. I saw this on the Joe Rogan podcast, where he did nothing but go on YouTube or go on Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media site he was using and look up kitties and puppies videos. That's all he would do. He would just look up those videos. He wouldn't watch anything else. And after a while on YouTube, it would just suggest kitties, puppies. Like, that's all it would suggest. You'd go down on his list of suggestions for like thousands of videos, and it would just be all puppies and kitties, or like puppies doing crazy shit. And so like he proved a great point, the fact that like it's not YouTube's fault, it's not Facebook's fault, it's not Twitter's fault. They're not trying to separate us, they're not trying to cut people out. All they're doing is just based on what you view, what you typically view. If you're constantly viewing things that pisses you off, Facebook's going to feed you more shit that pisses you off.
I think like different platforms work that kind of algorithm differently. Because I would say like YouTube and Instagram and maybe even Twitter to an extent like pulls that kind of crap more so than Facebook. It's like I've had like a relatively like respectable relationship with Facebook, but definitely for sure. Like, yeah, it depends like the frequency and like the diversification of your searches, obviously, but like it's just if you look up puppies and kitties, like you're just gonna see puppies and kitties. Look up like really angry, like stupid political like speeches or stunts or protesters. They're just gonna keep showing you stuff like you either like or don't agree with, and they'll just keep cycling it. And from what you click on from there, it's just gonna keep like just grows.
It's just gonna feed you.
It doesn't stop, and just gonna keep recycling things that it thinks you want to see, whether because you like it or I guess you don't.
I think the media should be held directly responsible, though, for the stuff that they put out that isn't necessarily 100% factual. Like, I understand the process of, like, skewing data to get more of a reaction. Like, if you put out a bar graph and you zoom in on the bar graph where the bar graph at its 0 point starts at 60 rather than starting at 0, so the graph looks more skewed, like the information. Yeah. Like, one bar will look significantly bigger than the other, and that's, like, the biggest point that people pay attention to. I would say, like, that's fine. That's reasonable. People should have to do their own research to look past that kind of information. But just blatantly putting out fake information, like the Elon Musk thing and the masks, that should be, regarded with, like, the biggest middle finger from society that we can give. But we don't.
Like,
we just let CNN, like, fucking do that to us, and like, nothing
happens. There should be some kind of, like, checks and balances, and like it's not like necessarily like a monopoly on like a media kind of in some, I guess, depending on how you look at like big corporate conglomerates, but like there's not necessarily like an OPEC sort of like monopoly on like media and like news production in America, not necessarily, but like I guess what I'm saying is like there needs to be some sort of like checks and balances. Like you don't see like, because that would really like that'd be like a thing. Like that's what I was thinking of before. It's just like how would we even like try like protest, like boycotting, like canceling, like stupid cancel fucking culture, just like trying to boycott shit. Like just refuse to watch them until like get some goddamn integrity. But like just like what could you do unless you like hit them with fines or something? Because that's really the only way like these goddamn greedy like suits learn. It's just like
hit them with some sort of like
slap them with fines or like drastically decrease. Like there has to be like a certain consensus between like the masses, I guess, is where it's just like let's not fucking give these people any sort of time. Yeah, and like that's like one of the only like really plausible ways we could do this, other than like just slapping them with fees. And
I think we'd have to have like so. The way I think about it is like just every single.
We just kind of let them run wild now. We have no checks and balances for like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how we combat fake news, but
I think the way we would have to do it is like I know that every single college for their fraternities they have an interfraternal council. So like if a fraternity does something wrong, they don't go to like the highest authority, they just go to like the council at that college. So like NDSU has an IFC and U of M has an IFC, UMD has an IFC. We would have to do something like along that kind of nature where like if a news source put out something that was blatantly like wrong / ignorant, or it was just completely like the data in it was not like peer reviewed, and they just like threw out an article to piss people off, we would have to have like a council of representatives from every single news source saying like, hey, this was completely wrong, and how are we going to fix this? And they would either have to slap them with fines or...
It's just like, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's just like, it's so hard. It's just like, who would we get to like monitor this, and how would we decide like
it'd have to be a council,
how we deal with it? But like,
or like the government,
it's
or
the same
something.
thing, but like it's like the same thing. So like, it's like a council, or like the government. It's like the council will be part of the government. And I guess like, and as soon as like I thought about that in my mind, and it's just like, so many people would have such a giant ass problem with, and even though it's not, with like the idea of like, oh, the government's now like feeding us like all this propaganda, the state mandated or state regulated propaganda. Like, I think, and it also might be like Second Amendment like type shit rights, freedom of speech or whatever. If that's not the Second Amendment, I don't fucking give a fuck. But
well, then that would also.
But like still, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, I don't necessarily. It's hard. I don't necessarily think we could like step too far over into one area without there being like a giant uproar, or without them like taking it to like a court case. Just like, well, yeah, maybe not, but
that would also.
I think freedom of speech. Like, I think there is like rules for that. Like, if it's damaging without being like truthful or something like that, I think like that's like kind of like a loophole where you can just get fucked for something you do.
I don't know if the media, like, that's one of the biggest things though, is like the media does have freedom of speech. They have the freedom to say whatever the fuck they want, and we have the freedom to read it, and we have the freedom to say whatever the fuck we want. I have the freedom to say whatever the fuck I want on this podcast. Like, it's, you know, that's one of the greatest things about being in this country. But at the same time, like, that would also hinder on like a media source or a media news source's ability to have a freedom of speech, right? So if we were to say something like that wasn't 100% factual, like, you fuckers are lying to us, then that would be at the same time like a freedom of speech kind of thing. So maybe we would have to like embark some sort of like label making.
That's what I'm saying. Like, freedom of speech is not necessarily like, it's not illegal to say something or spread something that's not true, but I guess like you just have to look at like the magnitude and like the scope of like what this has done to like society and like culture, like people. I don't know.
And that's a fucking massive ass job for a lot of people.
And it's not something you can necessarily say like, hey, don't worry, the government's gonna take care of it for you, or just like, we're gonna create. And even if like, and there probably is like a want for that, and maybe if like it's phrased in the right way, because you got to be so damn careful with like most of the goddamn American people and how you say stuff, but there's like almost no way to go about saying like, we're gonna try to be like the FCC or whatever, but for like your goddamn news and stuff, it's just like, I know like this shitty country, it's just gonna feel too much like a government overreach or overstep. But it's a problem, and I don't necessarily know how we'd go about fixing it, but like, I think the idea of trying to have the government come in and save us again isn't gonna sit too well with like a lot of angry people. It's mostly like the fucking FARs on either side, which would be mad about it.
But even then, like that, you know, council that oversees like all the news
in today's society.
Yeah, like the council that oversees like all the news sources, it could be some sort of like checks and balances kind of thing. But at the same time, it could also become like power hungry, and they could only release like news sources that
they would have to do a really damn good job of like convincing people like that this has become like sort of a monopoly, and like a toxic one at that.
What do you mean? The media?
Yeah.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, it would. In my, like, what if they got too power hungry though? What if they like took their power and were like, okay, now we're only going to release stuff that positively like gives a positive insight to like the United States. So like, we're not getting all the facts that we want, and they start like skewing it in their own direction due to like money laundering and like politicians not money laundering, but
that's kind of what separates like
racketeering. That's what I mean. That's what I meant. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for being smart.
What a guy.
Well, that was a big topic we just covered. That was a fat ass topic, and there really isn't.
Goddamn, no, man.
There really wasn't like an end to that one. Man, That's fucking brutal. All right, let me ask
It
you
went
this
from
question.
like
though.
Elon Musk to like craziness. I went all over the place, but
I just wanted to have one of those deep talks recently because it's been a while since I've like hung out with you boys, and to be honest with you, I haven't had one of those like deep like stoner talks in a long time. So I just wanted to get that out of my system, essentially.
There you go. Just talk about things that matter to you, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. But I guess like
Where's one?
you wanna hear about our flash flood experience?
Yes, I would love. Was that during the trip that you took to Colorado?
It was crazy.
Where did this happen at?
It was still in Colorado. It was like eastern Colorado. It was
Like the red like spiky mountain area.
Yeah,
Colorado.
I'm sorry, I'm breaking the rules. I'm gonna use my phone just so I can give you like an accurate idea of like the towns that we were in.
Okay, so this
No,
is
like we were okay. So it was after we went like to Garden of the Gods. Me and Tristan wanted to like go to the deserty kind of area because the desert's fucking awesome. So like there's a city called Pueblo. Yeah, well, I'm looking up. Yeah, I'm just looking up Lamar, Colorado, and the thingies.
in the area. You can have Joe look that shit up too. if you
Actually,
want.
yeah, Joe, pull up Lamar, Colorado. But yeah, there's like literally nothing. We were, yeah,
It's like literally nothing.
went to the Garden of the Gods, Colorado Springs, pretty nice place. Kept going south, wanted to go to the desert. Desert's bitching. We went to this town called Pueblo, and
Pueblo.
Pueblo,
How's it spelled?
Pueblo, Colorado. Like Pueo.
Yeah, this
LBO.
one's my last one, so you can take it.
Pueblo.
Just take it.
This is where you stayed.
Yep, Lamar, Colorado.
Lamar.
A whole lot of goddamn nothing. I just watched semis like roll in night or over the fucking like,
City of
hours.
Lamar.
City of Lamar, Colorado, baby. That's where we were.
Check the news.
Shout out Lamar, Colorado.
Yeah, Lamar. City of Lamar reopened state skate park. Is the skate park here in Cloquet closed? 'Cause I saw like a bunch of fucking.
I was
people
gonna
there
say, I
other
think the
day.
kids in town just got like sick of it and said, "Fuck it."
Said fuck. Yeah, I could definitely see that because the kids in Cloquet typically don't give a fuck. They had a fucking parade for the skate park funding. Dude, that's kind of whack though. Like these
Fowler.
13, 14-year-old
Definitely
kids. Like,
Rocky Ford, La Junta, Las Animas, and then to Lamar.
damn.
But yeah.
Oh, what I was going to say was like 13, 14, and like 15-year-old kids like got together and started their own little like group funding project where they would fund an actual skate park in Cloquet, and they got one. And they went to
Brady and
parades.
Caden and like Brady, I think.
Yeah, and they went to
I
like
said Brady twice.
they did parades to like promote. They
Yeah.
what else did they do? They talked to like city officials to get it approved, and like they went through a large ass process.
No, they went through the whole ringer, whole 9 yards. Like they did the whole process, and yeah, they
Over like what, 5 years? It was
I
like
think a little
4
shorter times period, maybe 2 or 3.
I'd say like 4. It was like 4
Really?
years. Oh yeah.
Damn.
From when I first heard about it, I was like 14 years old.
I want to say it was really only like 2 or 3 from the time I started fundraising to building, but I could be wrong.
They did start fundraising right away, but then they had to like talk to city officials because there was like something in place in Cloquet where you couldn't have a skate park. Because we had that original skate park and too many people got hurt there. And so they took it out.
Don't give the like city of Cloquet justice like that. You know damn well as I do that it was a drug den, so they closed it.
Yeah.
That's literally like the one like by the shitty train, like Avenue B or wherever the hell. They literally closed that because it was just like a not good area of town anymore.
Isn't Hennepin
County is
that's
Minneapolis.
that's the cities. That's Minneapolis. Damn, 467 deaths confirmed. Well, it is the largest. Are you looking at Minnesota statistics? Are you?
What a baggage.
Is that Minnesota statistics? Okay, just fucking making sure. God.
But yeah, anyway, I don't know what the hell if you want to keep talking about the skate park, but
No, I'm sorry. You were
went through
the flood. Yeah, you were talking about the flood.
66 cases
in Carlton.
St. Louis has 105.
We have no deaths though. That's a pretty good sign.
St. Louis is 13 deaths now.
That's all right.
Yeah. Maybe only.
Those might not even be coronavirus deaths. Those might be just
Who
deaths.
knows? But yeah, I don't know. We went to Pueblo. Pueblo's kind of lame. So like, you can kind of see like there's like the highway just like cuts east. So like Lou was just like, let's go east. And
Where? Colorado?
Pueblo, Colorado. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, while we were just, like, heading east, I could just see, like, far off in, like, the distance, these, like, lightning strikes. And, like...
Was it on, like, a desert terrain?
Yeah, it was just, like, lightning strikes.
That's sick.
In the desert.
Why
Yeah.
didn't you get any pics, dude?
It was so dope. I just wasn't close enough, so I was just, like, I probably wouldn't even get, like, a cool video. But I should have, because, like, the lightning strikes were literally, like, 3-4 seconds apart. I'd be like, bam. Just like crazy, like one after the
That's
other.
Cool as fuck.
Like tall as fuck, like going, like doing crazy shit, you know, like fucking electricity moves, whatever the hell. But yeah, we just
Plasma.
like we ended up following like this goddamn storm, just plasma. We ended up following this goddamn storm east, and we wanted to like stay in.
Chasing.
We were storm chasing.
Storm chasing.
Storm chasing.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
TV show?
Dude, it was awesome.
Wasn't that the plot of like movie Tornado or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't that-
Storm chasing.
TV
Don't
shows
worry.
where people just chase storms.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there was a movie called like there's like an because I need caffeine throughout my day.
Mouse.
Why are you not drinking a Monster, Joe? Monster Energy Zero Ultra.
Shout out Zero Ultra.
Shout out Zero Ultra. Fuck, you were saying? Sorry.
Oh shit, we're just going off. But yeah, no, we just kind of followed it. We were gonna stay in like La Junta, and then we got there. It was really lame. We just wanted to keep following the storm, so we keep going east, past through like Los Alamos, and then a couple other like small towns like fucking Rocky. Like on Rocky Ford, bunch of weird places. But yeah, all of a sudden, like it just starts pouring, and like literally, when you think of flash flood, just like instantaneous, it just started pouring, and Louis had been going. Because like it wasn't
on a
like
flat tire.
it wasn't. Nah, we had good tires at that point in time.
That was
Omaha.
in Omaha.
That was
Sorry,
Omaha.
flat tire in Omaha.
Also, shout out Omaha Depa. I don't know if any of you saw my Instagram.
I did see
Oh, I
Omaha
got
Depa.
the. Oh
He
yeah, the
looked
video.
exactly
The video
like
of
Depa.
Omaha Depa running across the. I'll show you that, Joe.
Shout out Joe.
Shout out Omaha Depa.
Shout out Omaha Depa. No, that was funny as fuck though.
It was so damn fun. You're gonna laugh your ass off, dude. I swear to God, it's so great. I love looking at that video, but it just keeps me up at night knowing Omaha Depa's out there.
Oh yeah, it was Depa's doppelganger for sure. For sure, dude. It was so fun. I fucking watched that video. I was like, that does look like fucking Depa. Well, I had to look to see if Depa went with you on the trip because I didn't know if Depa was actually there.
Oh God.
But yeah. So flash flooding.
Oh shit, yeah. Now Louis was going like fucking like 50, maybe 60, because you know it's like a back road, not necessarily like a highway. And then like we just hit this like patch of water, and like you know how like hydroplaning is like fucking crazy. Like for a second, like all of a sudden, like you just hear it. It was downpouring, and like the water rose up. Like this was like a rural, like agricultural kind of place. We could see all those like fucking machines. I just pumped like the water full, or the ground full of water, like for crops and like planting or whatever. So like, and we didn't, cause like we weren't like close enough to see or be in it at the time. But like around those lightning strikes was just like fucking downpouring rain, just crazy fucking downpouring rain.
Really?
Yeah, and like.
Wow.
Yeah, so we just hit those couple fucking patches because, like, big piles of water were, like, gathering up on the road. Like, you could still kind of see the road for a minute, but the further we went, like, the bigger and deeper those puddles got. And in, like, Colorado, because I don't think it was a cop. They, like, delegate, like, their Department of Traffic.
It's like a natural resources program.
Yeah, they have, like, weird, like, rangers and, like, a whole bunch. Like, they have, like, 2 or 3 different things other than cops. But, like, this one dude has, like, his lights on, and he was just, like, standing there, and it was fucking pouring. And Tristan just, like, pulls up, and he rolls his window down. We talked to him for a minute, and then, we just asked him if we could get to the next town over, and he says, well, probably. He looks out, and he looks back to us, and he's like... If the water, like, ever gets towards the hood, I think he was just, like, stop the car or maybe, like, get on top of it or something weird. But, like, that was an actual that's what made me scared. Like, there was an actual possibility, like, it could get so bad that, like, the fucking water would be up to, like, our necks, like, sitting in his car. And that would have been scary.
Would you rather deal with something like that, or would you rather deal with snow?
Snow, dude.
Snow.
Honestly, because
Yeah,
like this
for
this
sure.
was kind of scary. Like there was like a foot, maybe 2 feet of water,
That
like
was scary.
over on the road, and like I think I got a video like on my snap like where you can really hear it but you can't see it, but like yeah, the tires were turning, and you know how fucking like water is. Like I don't know if you ever like driven to Duluth when it was like flooded or whatever, but yeah, it was just like fucking sloshing, just spraying everywhere, and like you can't really see like what it looks like in front of us, but like I could, you know, and like it's just like
Jesus
it was water
Christ.
all like flash flood, dude. It was scary for a little bit, but
Is that shit common near Lamar?
Louis just like
Like,
took it
Pueblo?
safe. We got out of there safe. Shout out Lou for good driving. Surprisingly good driving, Louis. Love you, buddy. But no, well, yeah, just because, and it's kind of the same thing with Kansas, I imagine too, because it's just like all like rural farming, like. And it was like the time of the year, like they're just getting ready to like make the ground super fertile. So yeah, they had just been like pumping water in, so it was so saturated.
Shit.
Yeah, like the downpouring from like that storm had nowhere to go but up.
Oh my god.
And
And
like,
that's probably really common in those areas.
probably like especially
around like this
rainy
time of year.
seasons, whatever. Maybe even the fall too, like whatever April. Yeah, it's probably like it could probably get like actually really scary. We thank God didn't like actually get in any like crazy scary like real danger, but like the threat was there, and like that's the
Clearly.
first time I had seen that stuff ever. But it was nuts.
Did any water leak into the car besides like rain? Or...
wildest experience. But yeah, no, we didn't. Yeah, no, we didn't really get too wet other than like having like, the windows down and.
Dude, my car's a Minnesota car, so like the underside is so rusted through that I guarantee you, like if I hit any water that like goes above the tires straight up, my car is gonna be like there's gonna be water in my car.
Yeah, I'm like,
100%.
thank God it only got to like maybe a foot or like a foot and a half like over the road, but like, yeah, it was hairy a couple places.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Tornadoes?
Are
No,
tornadoes a
we
big thing?
like.
Those articles.
Especially when we were driving through Nebraska. That's what Louis kept saying to me, is just like, because we were looking around and, you know, like whatever the hell, how like the sky is supposed to look. I didn't even forget, sorry.
Yeah, like how the sky's supposed to look. There's like a certain look to the sky when like a tornado's coming because like
It's kind of that feel, yeah.
the influx of the cold air to the hot air and stuff like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking. We actually had a tornado warning when I was in Dickinson, and I remember like looking up at the clouds, and they're like, "You see that right there?" And it looked like somebody had taken like a giant like 2-liter and shoved it like directly in the center of the clouds and just like pushed them apart because there was like in the clouds it looked like they all went up to like a reverse like cyclone that was sucking everything like up that direction. It was super weird. But anyway, you were saying?
Oh, yeah, no, it was just like early on, like the first like couple hours of our trip, like, yeah, it just, it looked like nasty. Like the sky was kind of like greenish too.
Oh.
You know, like, yeah, driving through like Iowa and Nebraska, he's like, it's not tornado season, is it? And I was like, I hope not. I really hope.
Kansas?
I hope not. Kansas would have been like, yeah, that's Tornado Alley right there, baby.
You guys should have just done a line of coke and just drove straight into the tornado. We're gonna see with this light.
Nah,
That's
can't do that. Coke's not legal in any states.
no, you can't. You guys should have injected caffeine directly into your bloodstream and just
Yeah, Louis, like, speaking of, Louis was just like a goddamn animal. From like, so we left our hotel at like 10 a.m. from like Lamar, Colorado.
Spring, early summer.
Ooh. Oh, gross.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, you guys were
Yeah,
you guys were there,
kind of in it. Yeah.
Tornado Alley kind of shit. Yeah,
Right in the area. So.
Chasing stuff.
Chasing storms, baby. But
Let's go fucking
what the
chase
hell
some
was I
storms.
saying?
What did Lou do?
Oh yeah, Lou, I was talking about Lou being an animal. No, like the guy we left from our like place at like 10ish in Lamar, and from there through Kansas to Kansas City was like a 7-8 hour drive, and then from Kansas City up to like Minneapolis is like a 7-8 hour drive.
Damn.
Plus like the 2 it takes to get to Cloquet. So like Lou just like strong arms that. Louis drove like 20-ish like straight hours. I don't know if like he technically broke a day, but like not kidding you, like he drove us from Lamar to got down Kansas City all the way up through Missouri and Iowa to Minneapolis. We stopped at his place to grab some Kurtz and then we went up to Cloquet, He dropped me off, and then he drives all the way back to his place.
Dude,
He
that's
drove
whack.
He drove so long. I don't know how he stayed up or like stayed on the road.
Well, it's all dependent. It's all dependent on like what kind of road it is, though.
And then like it was just this thing. Like I wasn't even up with him like most of the time, like either, because like it was just hours and hours of driving. Like I needed to sleep, and like I only got like a couple like hours at a time of like decent sleep. But yeah, there were just like periods where he was just like driving by himself because I was asleep for like an hour or two.
Jesus Christ!
And then,
you could go through the entire fucking pod. You could go through my entire podcast in that 20-hour trip. This whole thing, like you can listen to all of them on Spotify.
We played your podcast a couple times, and towards the end, when I kept playing it, he would keep shutting me down. But we played it a few times.
Yeah. If I have to hear Trenton's voice one more fucking time, that's why I cannot wait till I go back to NDSU to start the next semester, because I'm gonna get my buddy Dan on the pod, and we're gonna like co-host this kind of thing, and it's not gonna be like me and him on the podcast together all the time. It's gonna be like him interviewing somebody or two people, and then like we're gonna switch off in that aspect.
Okay.
But like I've done so many solo podcasts without him that I'm probably just gonna let him do like the next fucking 10. Like,
I mean, you put the legwork in, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely, for sure. He is also a great talker, kind of like, I don't want to fucking say like me, because I'm kind of a bullshitter. I'm kind of like a bullshit talker, so like I can just kind of talk about whatever there is. But yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy. 20 hours. It's all dependent on the roads, like, though.
That too, but I'm just saying, like, at least 20 hours Louis was on the road.
Like, if you're just driving straight, my fucking roommate from Dickinson used to put on movies to watch while he was driving down the road. Like, to watch. Like, on his phone, he'd put it, like, right in front of the speedometer, hit cruise control, and just, like, watch a movie and occasionally look up at the road.
All he had was...
But he lived in South Dakota.
An open window and podcast and music.
No, he had Grizz Wintergreen. That's what he had. But,
probably was Grizz. But I'm going to give him the benefit and say it was Cope Wintergreen.
But that's like the craziest thing. Is like in South Dakota, the roads are so fucking straight for so long that you could probably watch a movie safely driving. Safely. Like, as fucked up as that is, like, they got to have some bends or turns, but there's just nothing in South Dakota for that to...
Like, sorry, MDOT, but yeah, all you need is your peripherals to drive, baby.
All you need is...
live by.
All you need is
just your peripherals.
Meth, we're on it. That's all you need.
Meth, we're on it. Yeah. How does that feel? You'll live there. Was that North or South?
South. That's South Dakota.
There you go.
That was their slogan because they have like the largest meth epidemic, like besides like
At
West
least you were
Virginia.
in South Dakota then. Hell yeah.
Fuck South. Why would I ever go to South Dakota? I've
Why
never
the hell
been
would
there.
you go to North Dakota?
Okay, North Dakota's a little bit better than South Dakota. Less
Probably.
population.
It probably is, honestly.
Less population, first of all. But North Dakota's on the border of Canada, so if you ever want to go somewhere fun, you can go to Canada. Canada. Do you want another beer?
I'll take one more.
Oh.
Yeah, just one more.
I'm glad everybody got to hear me fucking belch.
Yeah. Probably got great sound for that belch.
Great sound quality, bad. Fucking A. Yeah, it's God, that's a journey. Fucking 20 hours of drive. I did 8 hours of driving, and I thought that's
kind of last with the Kansas City too, because like we looked. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It'll be really quick. Yeah, we only the only reason why we went like east and up, like it's just because we looked, and it was about roughly to get to Minneapolis, like it was gonna be around like the same like 16-ish hour drive.
So you just took the scenic route?
So yeah, I was just like, why not just see stuff we haven't before? And like we saw Topeka.
That's cool.
It was like really a memorable part of Kansas, really, because we didn't get Wichita and like some other cool stuff was down here, and it's Topeka and then Kansas City right on the border of Missouri. But anyway, like you were saying, it was a cool time.
Yeah, but like
really
I drove.
Good views.
So like driving straight from Cloquet to Dickinson, it's like an 8.5 hour drive roughly. And that last hour, dude, like I thought I was just like, what if I take my wheel and just go like this, like into a pole or something? Like that's all I could think. Like the whole time was just like I'd see like a stationary object where if I hit it, my car would wrap around it perfectly like a ribbon. And all I could think was like maybe I should just pull it to the side and just let it happen. I never did it, obviously, but.
Real tempted though,
because it was just hell, like just driving.
That Dakota living, baby.
Oh my god! And it's the worst part about it is like 94 goes all the way from Fargo to Dickinson, just just straight, just like this one grain of wood, just straight across.
Good God, I don't even remember the hell where we stayed.
Mindless.
Oh, it was Bismarck. Yeah, I said Bismarck, North Dakota, when me and Alex and Levi
Yeah,
went and drove from California to Minnesota.
a lot of people. It's a high travel like location. Like a lot of people travel through there. Fucking Joe stopped at the Walmart in Dickinson when you were on your way to what, Yellowstone? Didn't you? California, yeah.
Walmart and Dickinson.
Yeah, fucking when I was
Tira spends his time.
Greasy out there.
It's greasy.
it's super greasy. That's why I had to start this podcast. So I was so fucking bored. My fucking college professor, him and his family were coming back from Yellowstone, and they stopped and said hi, and because they stayed in Dickinson that night, so they stopped and we like had a few beers and just hung out. Like that was cool. And they're like, "God, you fucking live here?" Like, yeah. I was like,
do you do?
it sucks. Oh my God. And I wasn't even 21 for like a majority of the time I was there.
Oh God, you couldn't even drink.
No,
God.
Well,
I
I
wonder
could.
you got so fit, dude. Just work out.
That's all I had to
What
do,
can
man.
you do in North Dakota? Well, there's a gym.
Well, that's one of the biggest things I miss about NDSU is like.
I mean, if you had like a dirt bike or like a bunch of guns out there, that'd be kind of cool. Like you just like drive like 10 minutes out and just unload clips, or just like ride a dirt bike or an ATV around. Like that'd be kind of fun.
Most of it is like farmland, but like once you get like 20 minutes like west of South Dakota and you just like go off the freeway,
I
like
just want to buy a shitty dirt bike and tear up shitty roads.
you don't even have to I don't know. You could take your car out to most of those places. It's like not that.
I want to be
Turbulent.
I want to live fast and leave a sexy corpse.
Leave a sexy course.
My dirt bike, Stanley Hudson. Well, now my dirt bike would be better to be fast on than I like going fast in my car, but I baby that thing too much.
It's hard to go fast in a car, especially when you don't have like the funds to replace broken things. That's a big
I really
bummer.
don't want to fuck anything up in that car right now because I need to get a job, dude.
Speaking of, well, since we were on
to
the
fix my damn car right now.
since we were on the travel topic, I wanted to ask you, like, where would be one place that you've always wanted to go? Where's like the biggest place that you want to go see? It could be like a continent, even. It could be like I just want to go see Europe.
Well, I guess
really
like
matter.
I'll split this off so it can like extend a little more. But if there was one place I could go to right now, it would be Guatemala City.
Why is that?
Just homeland. I don't
Yeah,
know.
'cause you're
It's just
Guatemala.
like I just want to see where I'm from. I don't know.
You gotta let my viewers know that you're not
It's just
black.
Well, eventually I'll do 21 and me, and we'll find out for sure. But most likely not. I'll say that right now. But it doesn't stop a slew of comments from people.
We talked about that last time you were here, actually, like some of the racist things that you've heard.
Like
But
the first one.
but
Anyway, we don't need to get
So
into that too
Guatemalan.
much, but yeah, I'd go to Guatemala City.
Guatemala.
Guatemala City, capital Guatemala, where I was born. City kid, not little jungle boy. But
Little jungle boy. What about like a place that you'd want to go visit just for like tourist things?
yeah, like I haven't like necessarily thought too much abroad. Like there's like so many places internationally I'd go, but like if I could go internationally somewhere, my first place would be Guatemala. But like as far as like in-state like traveling around goes, I'd really like to see Seattle. New York's kind of on there just because I just want
Just the atmosphere.
Yeah, I
wanna
just
see
and
that
like
too.
I guess now like with Corona and like post-Corona world, like it might be different. Like New York might not be like New York like we
Like the
know
Big
and
Apple.
think about it now. But yeah, Washington's on my list. Sedona, Arizona for sure. Sedona has a beautiful goddamn state park, and there's something about the desert, dude. I love like just like the crazy like colors, the oranges, reds, yellows, like all that crazy stuff, like the rock
Really?
formations. Like I love the desert, American Southwest, love that shit.
I think that shit's so boring.
I'd go.
My personal opinion.
Alex fucking hated it driving through it, like when we were leaving California and going through like Nevada and like Arizona, all that crap. He's like, dude, this is like the worst part of the country. It's terrible. I hate it. I've seen this stuff so much. But I was like, dude, I've never been to the desert, but like, no, the desert's beautiful. Like there's so many colors, like the formations, like it's crazy. Like, the rock don't know.
I think I'm
It's
too
cool to me.
fucking.
It's
I think
cool
I'm
to
too
me.
Scandinavian to enjoy something like that.
Nah, see, man,
I
like
think it'd just be too
Guatemala is a
hot
land
and I'd be
of
too sweaty.
land
and
of eternal spring, dude.
too
I'm made
burnt.
for the sun, and I need it.
I'm not made for the sun.
I need the sun.
Dude, I was out in the sun for like maybe half an hour. Playing softball for cold one. I was outside. I was out in the sun like at like 7 at
Boston,
night. So like
Massachusetts. I go to Boston.
Boston would be cool too. But I was out in the sun for like maybe an hour, and I got fucking burnt. And like I have a tan line now because of the shit I was wearing.
Farmers then.
It's so stupid, dude.
Trying to think.
I just hate being super fucking pasty white.
I'm trying to think if there's anywhere else like I really, really, really want to see in the country.
The Northwest is the place you gotta go.
I want to go to the Northeast too. I want to see both of those fucking. I want to see those
I go to Portland.
shitties.
Portland, Oregon. I go to Oregon.
Those are too nice. I want to see those shady cities like fucking Philadelphia and Boston.
I've already been to some. Oh, dude, Atlanta's like a dirty city, but it's the
there.
greatest place, dude. It's awesome.
I want to
You'd
go to a
love it.
strip club in Atlanta and
You'd
just
love Atlanta.
Just
Atlanta's-
people watch.
Atlanta's beautiful.
Well, it was good talking to you, buddy. It was a good
hell
time.
yeah! Thanks for letting me hop back in here. It's
Oh,
always,
of course.
Always nice to hop on the cast, bullshit a little bit.
Anytime, boys will always be boys. I think we're gonna get Ethan
Boys
and
will always be boys.
I think we're gonna get Ethan and Dylan Johnson on the next podcast.
Oh hell yeah!
Ethan Bergman.
Well, if Jamie's busy, I could tech for you. But
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know. So, thanks for stopping by, buddy.
oh, thank you, man. It's been a good time.